Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing part 2 of my previous video, and this video is about how to budget for travel and how to budget for your vacation, your trip that you're going to be going on. So stay tuned. So when traveling, you will always want to make sure that you have a budget, or at least like something in mind of how you're going to spend your money and where you're going to spend your money, because if you go broke on vacation, it's not fun. You're going to be drinking water at all your meals because you don't have any money for food. I've definitely done it. Story, I went to New Orleans with like $200 because I was broke, and like it was really bad, and I literally couldn't do anything. So make sure that you budget for your trip, and make sure that you consider all the expenses before you go on your trip. So I'm going to show you the things that you need to keep in mind and things that you need to budget for when you're traveling. So the first thing that you need to consider is transportation. Whether you're driving or taking a plane or taking a train to wherever you're going on vacation, you need to consider the cost of what that is going to be. When you fly to different locations, that's usually going to take up like a big portion of your budget because planes are expensive, even if you're flying within the US, which is so dumb. If you're in Europe and you're flying within Europe, it's much cheaper. So you're going to want to plan for your flight, which is the biggest part, which is why I always do it first, especially like if you're buying a flight sooner than you're paying for your, like the things that you're actually paying for on your vacation. You're going to want to consider that first and make sure you have the money for that first. So make sure that you take that into consideration. This summer I'm going on vacation to Tampa, Florida. Hopefully, if this corona thing cuts out before July, I'll be going to Tampa. So I'm going to try to put the numbers like down here and calculate and budget for my trip while I show you how to budget for your trip. So yeah. So I looked up Google Flights, and Google Flights is saying that I'm going to be paying around $200 for a round trip to Tampa. Of course, I'm going to look at different things like Skyscanner, Skycheap Flights, Student Universe, on how I can fly for cheaper. But for now, I just have the max amount that I want to spend as $200 for this round trip flight. And I like to round up on everything that I pay for on vacations, because one, you never know if something is going to be more expensive than it actually is, and two, to be honest, I spend money like it's nothing. So I'm so bad with like money sometimes. But make sure you round up so that if you spend a little bit more, you're not going to end up broke in the end. And if you don't spend more, then you'll have money after your trip, which is always a plus. So the second thing to consider, which is also a big part, is your accommodation. So Airbnb, hotels, if you're staying in a hostel, if you're staying in a guest suite, if you're staying with family. I know that when I go to Florida, my aunt already paid for the resort, or the hotel or whatever. So that is a price that I am not going to have to consider. So I'm still at $200 for my flight and that part of the trip. Third thing to consider is food. So first of all, food is different prices in different places, which I didn't know, because I was expecting to pay a certain amount for food in New Orleans when I went, and thinking it's going to cost the same amount as food in Pittsburgh, when that's not true at all, because New Orleans has a lot of seafood. Seafood is more expensive. So you have to make sure that you look at like different menus of restaurants of where you're going, so you can get like a ballpark amount of how much you're going to spend. So for my family vacation, I know that I'm going to have to pay for two things. One is groceries. So when we first get to a place and we're staying there for a week, we'll go grocery shopping, because we usually have like a kitchen of some type in our hotel. So we go grocery shopping. It's usually like $4 per person, depending on like what we're getting and who wants what and all that stuff. And we just like split it evenly because that's fair. So I give myself $40 for the week for family groceries, things that everyone's gonna be eating. Second thing is we're not just going to be eating in a hotel and all that stuff, like hotels for breakfast or whatever, but we're also going to be going to restaurants. So I say restaurants in Florida, from what I've researched, are going to cost like $20 to $30 a day. So that's probably like a $20 dinner and a $10 lunch or something like that. So I gave myself $30 a day. For 5 days, that's $150. So food, that's $150 for restaurants and things for a week, and $40 for the week for groceries. That is $190, and that's another $200 on top of that. So like I like to round up, so that's $200. So yeah, $200 for the flight and $200 for food. Just keep that in mind. So the third thing is different activities that you want to do, whether it's like shopping or excursions on your trip. You will always want to consider every possible activity that you might want to do, especially like if you like to relax more, then obviously this is not going to be a big part of your budget. But if you like to do everything under the sun and do a whole bunch, then you're going to want to budget a lot for activities. For my trip, I budgeted $80 to jet ski because I've never done that before, and I think that's something that I want to try for like the first time when I go on vacation. I budgeted to go to the aquarium because I like fish and I want to see them, and I just budgeted another $30 for random something shopping or whatever. So that is 80 plus 30, which is 110 plus 30 more is 140. So I gave myself 150 because we're rounding up. I gave myself 150 for different activities, different excursions that I want to do while on vacation. So the fourth thing, it's not really a fourth thing, it's just like a little extra thing. Just always budget a little bit of extra money for different things like taxes and Ubers, if you have to catch Ubers as like a form of your transportation. If you go to the club, entry fee, drinks. Like I know when I was in Europe and I went to the club for like, not the first time, but like I went to the club and drinks were super expensive and I was like not prepared for that. So like make sure that you always budget for like little extra things like drinks. And when you are on your way back from your vacation and you want to get like a little t-shirt, a little magnet or something, make sure that you have money set aside for souvenirs. And these little extra things, budget for them because they can add up quickly, like very, very quickly. So I gave myself like $40 to do that. $40 for little extras and little souvenirs like that. So if I did this correctly, I have $200 budgeted for transportation and getting to Florida. I have $200 for food. I have $150 for activities. I have $40 for extra souvenirs. So that gives me a whopping total of $590, which I would always round up again to make it $600 just in case. So I know that my budget is $600 for my flight or my whole trip, whole family vacation to Florida. And then I can start saving money from there, which I will be doing a part 3 on. So now that you know how to budget for your trip, you can do your own budget. And I know that it's a little bit time consuming. Like it definitely took me a little while, especially like when you're planning your trip and budgeting for it at the same time. It can take a little bit of time, but all we got is time, baby, because we're sitting in quarantine. So plan your vacations or make up imaginary vacations that you might want to take in the future. That's my favorite thing to do, is plan vacations and look at Airbnbs. So y'all, I hope you enjoyed that video. I hope that you learned how to budget a little bit. So when you're planning your trip and you're budgeting for your trip, and soon when you're saving for your trip, I hope you take all these things in consideration and do your research and learn as much as possible so that you can have a great trip. But if that's everything, I'll see y'all later. Peace.